Okay, hi guys, Mr. Who's the Boss here, and the HTC One M9 has finally been announced. The HTC One M8 was an incredible success, being one of the highest rated phones of the year 2014. It was extremely fast, also had a premium design and all the features of its competitors, plus a hell of a lot more. So let's see how the new one compares to the old one. The HTC One M9 has literally just been announced 2 days ago on March the 1st, 2015. It was obviously coming to a mass appeal and obviously huge expectations here, HTC One M8 being the recommended phone of the last year by almost every single review site. So I also actually used the phone personally and absolutely loved it. So HTC One M8 had a Snapdragon 801 compared to the Snapdragon 810 of the next gen version. Now the 810 is an octa-core processor using a big little architecture and a much more newer CPU. So what this actually means is not only is it more power efficient, but it's actually almost 70% more powerful in gaming and intensive tasks. For day-to-day usage, it has actually been known to be a little bit sluggish, but this is probably due to it being very new and slightly less optimized. But I would imagine something like a 10 to 20% increase in the usage of the UI, things like internet browsing and that kind of thing, but most of the benefit will be restricted to gaming. Now, the Snapdragon 810 also comes with a faster LTE modem and allows camera to take photos even faster, as well as being able to decode 4K video seamlessly. So, 2GB of RAM came with the HTC One M8, and now we have 3. Now the RAM actually used in this device is the same speed as the previous RAM, we just have more of it, which basically means the only noticeable improvement here is going to be in terms of multitasking performance. But then again, the HTC One M8 was still well ahead of its time in terms of that. The actual HTC Sense UI is extremely well optimized and actually handles multitasking very well. So with 3GB of RAM, you're going to be literally seeing zero slowdown whatsoever. The previous device was already extremely nippy, so this is really one to behold. Now next up is the cameras. The HTC One M8 came with a very controversial 4 ultra-pixel camera. Now this basically had 4 megapixels and an extremely wide lens, so it captured a lot of light and actually had very large pixels. The result of this, well, you ended up getting actually very good looking images until you zoomed in, and then things actually fell apart. So with this new camera, they've gone in the totally opposite direction. They've crammed 20 megapixels into an admittedly large camera, but nonetheless this is not going to be the same at all. I actually really liked the idea of view focus, and I'm not sure this is going to be quite the same. Having said that, this is one of the best phone cameras we've ever seen. The sample images leaked are pretty outstanding, and to be honest, I'd say it surpasses almost all the high-end digital cameras, of the compact variety at least. So yeah, this is very impressive, but just in a different way. We also obviously have the two-tone flash that we're now used to, which obviously equalizes lighting and doesn't overexpose too much. So the battery has also been upgraded. We've gone from 2600 mAh to 2840. Now that's actually a noticeable difference. I mean, that would give you an extra maybe hour of battery life on a normal sort of one-to-one basis, but don't forget, in this case we've also improved the efficiency of the components. So the Snapdragon 810 actually draws less power than the Snapdragon 801 unless it's under maximum load, so more than likely we'll be seeing a 2+ hour increase in battery life, which, considering the HTC One M8 can already last nearly 2 days, is mighty impressive, and I cannot wait to actually test it in day-to-day usage. So we are now getting an upgrade from Sense 6 to Sense 7. Having said that, I mean, this is also going to be coming to the HTC M8, just like Android Lollipop is, and already has for most places, but nonetheless this is going to be a significant step forward for HTC. They've not only cleaned up their look, but they've introduced huge amounts of customization. They've actually given you the ability to just pick a picture and it automatically picks a theme for you. Most of the new features actually improve things like the blink feed and aesthetic purposes, but nonetheless it is still a refinement and is more performance efficient. Next up we have BoomSound 5.1. Now they haven't actually mentioned officially any increases in volume, and all the people who've actually managed to test the device haven't really reported that either. Having said that, there is a slight upgrade. HTC have actually ditched Beats now and have teamed up with Dolby, who now offer a virtual 5.1 surround sound experience on your mobile device. Now this is also apparently activated when you plug in earphones, but I'd be interested to see how that works, because with stereo earphones they're just not programmed to do that, but this is a pretty cool thing and apparently it sounds amazing, so I'd like to see that. Now this thing is a little bit iffy because some people tested the HTC One M8 and actually claimed that it could withstand water. Having said that, there was no official claim made by HTC themselves, and now they have actually stated that the One M9 will be IPX3 resistant. This basically means it can withstand a water splash or a bit of dust, but it's not exactly the kind of phone that you can, like for perhaps the Xperia Z3, take to the beach, use in the bath or anything like that. It's not the recommended usage, but then again, these guys err on the side of caution, so it might still be okay in those scenarios, but I'm pretty sure your warranty will be voided if you're a daredevil like me. So the last thing that HTC have really changed is the design. They've actually gone for a dual tone design here, with two separate and noticeably different layers of metal in the side of the device. So the rim running around the outside is actually coloured in both silver and the choice of colour that you've actually gone for with the device. It looks awesome. I mean, it actually looks like a triple layered device, and it's not exactly increased the thickness or anything, and they've actually used it for a conventional purpose. They've actually moulded it around the antennas of the device to increase the signal. It really does work. I think that they've actually improved on the looks of the M8 somehow, and the curvature of the phone fits apparently just as nicely in the hand, but I've not tested that myself as of yet. The M9 is by no means a revolution, but the HTC One M8 was so far ahead of the competition, some would say, that other manufacturers are still catching up a year later. For example, Samsung has only just adopted a metal body and has had to make plenty of other sacrifices to fit that in. So yes, this is amazing. I thoroughly recommend you check it out. From everything I've seen, this looks like it's going to be yet another win for HTC. Thanks for watching, guys.